back to Good Morning New York. I'm Mallory McClintock. Joining me today will be Jonas, who is the protagonist from The Giver. Now, before Jonas comes in, I'm going to tell you a little bit about him. In the book, The Giver, Jonas has to face the challenge of being the new receiver of memory. Jonas always wears a jacket called a tunic. Also, he has pale blue eyes, which is weird because where he lives, almost everyone has dark eyes. The Giver has also blue eyes, so they may think that that might be the reason that Jonas has been given the task of receiver of memory. Jonas shows us that he is very sensitive. It was strange to find out that because at the beginning of the book, he didn't seem to have much feeling. When he got the memory of war, he was very sad. Then, when his friends were playing a fake game of war, he got sad and told them to stop. Finally, people think that Jonas is very special because he was given the job receiver of memory. People also think that he is different because of that. On his first day as receiver of memory, he walked into the room where he was to begin his training, and when he walked in, the secretary stood up immediately because he was so special. Jonas really does have a lot of amazing traits. Now, Jonas changed a lot in the book, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about how he changed. From the beginning to the end of the book, Jonas has really changed. At the beginning of the book, Jonas was never really very brave. It took him a while to become brave, but he did eventually. When he was picked to be the new receiver of memory, he had to go on the stage, and he was really scared. Then, at the end of the book, he became a lot braver than he was at the beginning. Jonas took all of the painful and scary memories. I bet that at the beginning he probably would never have done that. Also, he changed because he learned what love is. I was really happy that he learned what love is because no one in his community knows. He got his memory of love, and now he loves his parents and the Giver. All good books have characters that change, but Jonas especially changed in many good ways. Now we're going to take a short break, but after we will have with us in our studio, Jonas.
Have you ever not been able to remember what you were about to say? You ever been searching for the right words, but you just can't find them? Are you fed up with it? Then try the Magic Memory Magnifier. The Magic Memory Magnifier really works. Just one spray and you can remember things instantly.
2 + 2 equals 4.
The first president of the United States is George Washington. The capital of Colorado is
Denver!
Similar products can cost up to $50. Click or call now and receive a free memory magnifying lotion. Just put it on before you go to bed, and in the morning, when you wake up, you'll remember everything that happened the day before. Yesterday, I woke up, had pancakes, went to school, went to soccer, went to ballet, and had sushi for dinner.
Order your Magic Memory Magnifier. Call 1-800-MAGNIFIER now or go to www.magicmagnifier.com. Hurry while supplies last.
Thanks, Magic Memory Magnifier!
Welcome back to Wake Up New York. I am Mallory McClintock here with Jonas, who is the protagonist of The Giver. Great to have you here, Jonas.
Great to be here.
Well, all right. I just have a few questions for you. First, what is release?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. Release is a really, really sad thing. It's when a person is old, doesn't fit in, or is even just a twin. You must get a release, which is when the nurturers, which is a job you can have, when the nurturers kill you.
So how would you explain The Giver?
The giver is the present receiver of memory. And the receiver of memory is the person who keeps all of the memories for the entire community, even the really, really painful ones, which I hated. The giver is a really, really kind old man. And he told me to call him the giver when I first met him. So that's just what I always called him. And actually, come to think of it, I still don't even know his real name.
What do you think the result would have been if you had never run away?
I think that if I had never ran away from my community would just stay the same old boring place. I decided I wanted to run away when I saw the release my father did of a little baby twin. And if I never ran away, my guess is they would still do all the terrible releases.
So why do you think you were chosen to be the receiver of memory?
I think I was chosen to be the receiver of memory because I had courage, intelligence, and even a little bit of wisdom.
Yeah.
I also think that I was chosen because I don't even know, but I was just somehow a little bit different from everybody.
What's the relationship between you and the giver?
I think the relationship between us is that when he was training me, we became really, really great friends. He's like a best friend and a father combined to me.
How would you improve your community?
I would not allow any more releases. And I would let people pick their own jobs. Also, I would have more diversity throughout the community.
Could you further explain the reason why you're not really allowed to pick your own jobs?
I don't really know how to answer that question actually, but I think it may be because the people really want to make sure it's the right job for you, and because they don't want anybody to be sad, and the people in my community who choose the jobs, which is a really important job, is actually choosing the jobs. They just, I don't know. Our community is just like a place where it must be perfect. And
I see.
Yeah.
Could you think of a different word to describe your community?
That's a hard one, but I guess I would call it plain, simple, boring, and probably safe. Very, very safe. But I guess safe isn't a bad thing.
Why was it better that you left the community to run away?
I guess it was better that I ran away because it's not as boring and plain there anymore. Because and fun and exciting never happened there, and so now maybe they have the opportunity to have that.
So, what's your opinion of being the receiver?
I really, really like being the receiver of memory, but sometimes it's really frustrating, and I spend a lot of time by myself.
Do you think it would have been better if you weren't the receiver of memory?
No, I don't think it would be any better because if I was not the receiver of memory. Because I really, really like to be the receiver. I do wish I could see my friends a little bit more and my family a little bit more, but I still love the job, and I would never want to be anything else.
Well, there you have it, folks. That was Jonas from The Giver. And thank you so much, Jonas. It's great to meet you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's really a big pleasure.
Great. Coming up after this commercial break, learning to cook with the chef from Benihana's.